Stop holding on to your past. If you're on the internet spreading this message, please stop. For millions of us, it's not about holding on to the past, but it's about understanding how the past have held on to us, whether we like it, whether were aware of it or not. And there's a huge difference, right? Now, are there people that hold on to the past and hold grudges? Absolutely. But when you're dealing with people that's on a healing journey, it's about realizing how events in the past has hold on to us in a way that it formed and shaped the way we feel, act, and think in situations. You see, a lot of people, millions of people are walking around not realizing that events in their past affect them in their daily life, in relationships, the way they think, the way they act, the way they feel, whether you like it or not, whether you choose to block it out, whether you choose to say, well, I forgive, and I forget, and it's unaddressed, unresolved, and it's things that hold on to you and show up in different ways, in different areas, and in different triggers. And a lot of people that are dealing with stress and anxiety and depression and different things like that, the freedom comes with acknowledging the past, acknowledging the events, and getting free and healed from it in a way that you can think about it, you can talk about it, and it doesn't have a hold on you. So it's not about holding on to the past. It's about realizing how the past has a hold on you. So I recently had a conversation with somebody very close to me, and they kept telling me about stop bringing up the past, stop dwelling in the past, stop holding on to the past. And I said to them, understanding where they're coming from, why? I says to them, tell me why I should stop. And they proceeded to say, because I know that if I keep thinking about the past, if I keep dwelling on the past, it's going to put me into a state of depression. And I replied, exactly. Exactly. That is why, and that right there is an indication of a need for healing. If the events of the past is so deep and is so heavy and is so traumatic that the very thought of it can put you into depression, then the past has a hold on you. Even if you choose to forgive, to forget, and move on. Cover your ears, close your eyes, and move on without addressing it. It has a hold on you. So there's a lot of people on the internet, right? Counteracting people that's getting healing, therapy, and they're online and they're like, stop holding on to the past, stop dwelling on the past. And you could tell that they don't have a clear understanding about people that's healing. Now, any trained, good professional therapist knows that the purpose of therapy is to enact healing, where the outcome and the goal is so that the client can function and live in a way that is healthy for them, right? A lot of times they have to get to the root, and it's going back and it's going back. Whether it's talk therapy, for me it's EMDR, because it's how the trauma affects the body. And again, if you've been following my journey, for me, because it's such early childhood trauma, some of it goes beyond memory. And it's and that's why like EMDR is one of the therapies that I've been going through. It's because it's helping me train my body and my mind in a way that I could react to present events now differently than how I did in the past. So there are millions of people out there, doctors, lawyers, teachers, professors, you name it, pastors, priests, social media influencers, running around living their life with unaddressed trauma. And it shows up in the way they work, the way they parent, the way they talk. And you know exactly what I'm talking about because you probably live with them, work with them. You probably see them at the gym, right? And you see the way they react. You see when they're triggered. You see when they're frazzled. You see them in everyday life. And a lot of times these are adults that in certain situations act like children and in certain situations behave like children. And you ever have that coworker where something happened and you're like, they're acting like a child right now, or a family member or a parent? It's because of trauma. It's because of unaddressed, unhealed trauma that have them in certain areas stuck in that childhood, right? And when they're triggered, that person that you're dealing with might be a 13-year-old. When they're triggered, that person that you're dealing with in the moment might be a 5-year-old. The emotional intelligence response, the emotional response might be an emotional response of someone that is stuck in that trauma. And that's why going back in therapy and addressing that and getting healed from those things help you in your present life. I started this podcast with the hopes of helping people break free from oppression through therapy. Now, the pushback, the negative comments, the things that came my way just helped me realize how important the work that I need to do is. I'm not a therapist. I'm not here to help you and figure out you. I'm a patient, figuring out me, getting the help that I need, and saying, let me be an encouragement to somebody out there through this podcast, right? That's my goal. So yeah, the pushback opened my eyes, but you know what keeps me going? Those comments or those messages that come in from people that says to me, thank you for explaining it for me. I had no idea what EMDR was about, and I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and I was worried that is this some kind of new age thing? And the way you broke it down and explain it, I'm going to go ahead. Like when I get those messages or when I get people thanking me and somebody has watched something that I put out and decided to go and get help for themselves, that's just not one person. That's everybody in their circle that's going to end up getting healed and helped, their children, generations off of this. So I'm not worried about people who are not ready or don't see the value in what I'm doing. I'm more concerned about the people that are. And let me tell you something, and I want to speak to everybody. If you're dealing with triggers and panic attack and stress and anxiety and depression, and you found ways to cope, worship music, sermon after sermon, serving in the church, religious activities, meditation, grounding yourself, all these different tools that are useful in therapy, all these different tools that you use to cope. But the coping just brings you temporary relief when you need it, right? In therapy, we call them tools, right? They give you tools to help you while you're walking this journey, right? And you're doing all of that, and it's bringing you the relief you need in the moment, but it hasn't healed you. You're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you have all these tools of survival, but you're not thriving. Maybe it's time that you see someone. Maybe. You see, getting help professionally is not a lack of faith. It's an act of faith. So go ahead and bring God in on your healing journey. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Paul, and this was another episode of the Paul Larry Podcast.